Hey again everybody, City of StarCraft here for yet again another StarCraft 2 replay / commentary. And oops, there is a misclick by Ender right there. Anyways, this is going to be a 2v2 on Redstone Gulch. As you can see, we're looking at Mr. Ender here, bottom left corner, playing as the Red Zerg. His teammate up here, just a little bit above him, is the Sleepers, playing as the Blue Heron. Straight across the way over here is the Teal Protoss. I believe that's what race I'm playing. And my teammate JDX, you might have seen another video with him. Good guy, like playing with him. My unit composition, what I usually make, complements what he does and things of that nature. So what he was pinging down here was these rocks. On this particular map, one of your allies, if you play 2v2, does have a set of destructible debris at the back of their base. And here's their opponents right there. So it's good to put either a supply depot right here, pylon, things of that nature. I eventually do put a pylon right here just so that we don't get destroyed from behind. If you saw a previous video to this, spoiler alert, JDX actually gets his rocks destroyed and a lot of Zerglings in his base. We do actually end up turning it around and pulling out a victory here, but you know, it's a little difficult to deal with when you have Zerglings running through, killing all your workers and things of that nature. So again, we're going up against a Zerg and a Terran player. Nothing too crazy going with the Zerg players. He's not doing any 6-pull or anything of that nature. But I did actually see that little drone go down there, so I figured he could do an expansion. So, and of course, as you can see, he does. Production tab, pretty standard for just about everybody. What JDX is saying is I'm talking in chat telling me he's going to end up putting a hatchery down right here. So I made sure he was well aware of that. Everybody's doing about the same, 8 PM for just about everybody. I am up there at 100, oh, that's not me. Usually I should just like look before I just assume it's me. Anyways, Ender's up there with 166, going up to 300 something APM. I'm at a measly 58 and everybody else is a little bit behind there. Now, on this particular map, it's a pretty good 2v2 map. You're not too far away from your ally if you need to go back and help them. Watchtowers in the middle do cover just about a good majority of the map. 2 high yields in the middle that if you're able to fight over those and get them, they do actually. It's tough to hold, especially when you're going up against 2 other opposing people. But if you're able to, it works to your advantage because you can of course get the high yield expansion. The good thing about this thing is there's a lot of ramps. You can trap units, you can get surrounds, a lot of foliage around that you can just hide behind and use to your advantage. Plus, for the most part, the pathing to each of the base is fairly narrow. So, I mean, if you use that to your advantage, you can get good concaves when people are moving out. Or, you know, you got to be careful going down the corridors because you could end up just running into a trap. Use a military term here, it'd be like a fatal funnel. You just go in there and just get shot. So we are putting a little bit of early pressure on. JDX is trying to do a little bit of damage. I do have him back out because now he's just going to end up producing a lot of Zerglings to pick up a little bit of Marines he does have. Harvester count, I'm up with about 21. The Zerg player, because he's on 2 bases, is about 20. And both the Terran players are about 10. JDX maybe a little bit behind in that regard. But he is dropping down yet another barracks, now having 3 racks. And going to get engineering buried, possibly get some upgrades early on, and maybe have his army a little more robust to be able to destroy more things. Pinging down here was where I was wanting to meet all of us to meet, and I do end up seeing these Zerglings. We do intercept them. Get a couple kills. Looks like only 1 kill there. And the Zerglings, of course, get a scoot on out there. Zerglings, even without their speed, do move at 2.95 as opposed to, of course, a Marine 2.25. And my Zealots, I believe, are about 2.25 as well. Yep, that's what they are. So Zerglings are going to run away regardless. But he did lose a couple of them, so, you know, every unit, especially in the early game, does make a difference. Now we are going to try to push a little bit over here. Just because, again, we don't want the Zerg to macro up and get such a huge army that he's able to destroy us. So we're going to poke in here, do a little bit of damage. He's got some spines at his expansion here, so I don't want to attack his expansion because of the spines there. We are going to move into the base, the main, and of course I block off the ramp with my sentry. And we're going to do at least a little bit of overload. We did supply block him a little there, and supply block him a little more there. And I was going to force it again, but was unable to do so. Didn't get it up in time. Now he should be able to clean this up, especially with, of course, a lot more circles in it. He's doing a good job microing my Z-Lock around. Not able to, of course, catch the Marines. And it doesn't seem like we did a lot. We did lose a decent amount, 450 and 400, so, you know, 850 worth of units. And they only lost, you know, 675 worth. But the thing about it is we did supply block the Zerg player, which is a big deal, and he's actually still supply blocked at the moment. So he's not able to produce any more units, tanking or harvester wise, and that just gives us a little bit of time to, you know, go ahead and I decided to go ahead and build an expansion, but also build more units to be ready to attack. Now, I do have a little bit of a stalker army right here, and of course he's got Marines spread out all over the place, which is a good idea, especially since his Zerg player, even though he's got these static defenses, he doesn't have much when it comes to attacking wise. So it's spreading out the Marines so that he can just regroup over here or regroup over on this side to assist wherever it needs to be. Now I end up doing dropping down a pylon here so I can resupply my army fairly quickly, just so that, you know, we can keep pushing the attack if we need to, and possibly catch them off guard. Army size is 6058, so they actually have a much higher army size, about 120. So are a little bit of just under 100 right here, not at 100. So 20 supply more than that, and for the most part, that's you know, of course, Zerg players' amount of drones here. Everybody else is roughly about the same. Production tab shows that, of course, JDX is getting stem. And we actually do have a little minor engagement here. I do Guardian shield that back up a little bit, get away from that fly crawler. And then, of course, I'm trying to kill a little bit units here. I'm basically just trying to keep them at bay for the most part. I know head on I definitely cannot destroy both those armies, especially by myself. So I'm just trying to keep them at bay, keep them in his base, and at the same time trying to macro up, get more of an army, get more harvesters, and be ready to push again. On chat, I'm also telling JDX, hey, go ahead and hit the back door, see if we can break the rocks down and do some damage that way. I'll try to keep their attention on me over here, and that's what I'm doing. I have a couple of Marines, as you can see, but I'm, for the most part, just coming in here, poking around, trying to, maybe, I almost intercept that tank a little bit. That would have been a big pickup. Guardian shield to be able to sneak away, and then, of course, I force shield. I lose 2 units, not really that worried about it, just because I know that JDX is supposed to be going into the back door. And since this person, like I said, did not put a supply depot here, he does not know what's going on. So JDX thankfully is able to move in there. I'm still trying to poke up here, keep their entertainment on me. This guy, Sleeper, is just standing still while all of his SUVs are just getting destroyed. Now, it's best to actually focus stuff down. So, you know, take out the SUVs, take out supply depots, check structures, things of that nature. And he's actually going to end up putting a bunker in here to try to hold that down. Now he's got a decent surround right here. As you can see, their Marines are pummeling into a straight line while JDX's are there, but he does have the siege tank, of course, up here now. So he's able to do a little more damage from that one. He's telling me to hit, but the problem is there's too many roaches here for me to actually move into that base. And that's what I was telling him on the chat there. Now, Sleeper did end up clearing all the units out of here, but his econ was hit pretty hard. Total units lost 25. If you look at the harvester count, now only at 18. So probably cut his harvesters in half. So he's basically out for the most part. He does have a decent saturation on his expansion over here. And you know, of course, the Terran has the orbital command, so they can drop down mules, which he probably should be doing. Now, of course, these stalkers had their days numbered. They were caught way out of position there. And Sleeper's just going to move in right here. But he did move command. Don't ever do that. Yeah, and that's why JDX was putting LOL. He was just given 20-something kills, maybe 10 kills. Yeah, always attack command if you're going into the base like that. or you get a weird fly. That particular attack right there, the Zerg player had nothing but, of course, Zerglings, and I actually didn't lose a single unit. Force fields helped out with that, plus keeping that Protoss ball right next to each other, so you're not able to get surrounded on. Production tab, it looks like our Zerg player is getting missiles level 2, also getting Burrow, so you can probably do some roach play, and it does look like, of course, tunneling claws. JDX getting combat shields for his Marines, a must-have if you go in Marines because it increases their hit points. And siege tech, which is a very good have because you know, siege tanks do a lot of damage. And if I have a mainly Zealot army up front, then I can tank against the units while his siege tank attacks from afar. Now Sleeper's core still a little bit behind in the economy. He's got all these SCVs queued up. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. Usually you want one, maybe two queued up and keep one or two producing at all times. If he's got this much minerals and doesn't know what to do with it, build a few more barracks, build some armories, build some factories, build something. You don't necessarily have to move or just queue up stuff. Now what you saw there was 3 little Zealots right here. I had a proxy pylon here that he didn't know, and he tried to get the high yield expansion, so I just warped in 3 or 4 Zealots in here to destroy that. Yeah, I lost a little bit in that regard, lost 400 minerals, 500 minerals worth of stuff, but delayed the high yield expansion from going down. So that's kind of a win in my book, I suppose, because less bases a Zerg player has, the better off it is. Less they can build up. Now, looking at the army size, our Zerg player staggering 163. This is what happens if you just let Zerg go uncontested. 163, his teammate only about 57. Excuse me. And 123 and 82 for us. So our total army size for both players is about the same, but they have to fight a little bit more. Of course, Zerg is about to be maxed out here. Now, we do have sight of the high ground because of the dropship here, but fortunately, yeah, they should get cleaned up pretty easily. And hopefully this medvac can get away. Run, medvacs, or fly, I should say. It'd be funny to see a medvac actually run, but anyways. Now, I do actually have Colossus. I have some Zealots in there to take the fire, and a Roach to attack, an Immortal to attack the Roaches, because of course the Roaches do more damage to the